Hey everyone, I hope this video finds you well and that your week is going good for you. This is going to be a little bit of a different format because I am going to be discussing the planners that I want to get for the coming year. And so I want it to be short and sweet so that I'm not spending a lot of time on this, but I wanted to show my current planning system and then go from there. So I started off with the Hobonichi cousin and Hobonichi weeks. And so let me just go into one of these, for instance. These are a lot of the plan with me's that you've already seen on my channel. And the only thing that wasn't working with this is the weekly pages. I found it very redundant and like I was doing double work in several of my planners because I was kind of tracking my 9 to 5 here, but also tracking it elsewhere. And I kind of just don't work like that. So things were being missed, especially with the monthlies, like appointments, meetings, things like that. I was overbooking myself, things like that. So in April, I ended up getting the Take a Note Mini. They were sold out of the regular A5 for this layout, and I really wanted to try it out because the layout looked like something that would work for me. And so I just grabbed the Mini. The only thing I don't like about it is that it's really tiny. It's like the size of my hand. I don't write that small sometimes, and things can get lost. So I do like it. I'm still using it, but I want the bigger size. And then the weeks kind of did not work for me. So pretty much like this, I did some swatches in here. So like if you come in the back, there's like some swatches here, randomness, things. Or first it started as my work planner. So I was tracking like my day-to-days with work. In this from like January to April, and then it kind of stopped working. So then I turned it into a budget planner, tracking all of my expenses, and then that didn't work. I transferred that over to another book that was a little bit bigger. This is a little bit small. And then I started doing gratitude, and I haven't really been keeping up with it. So like on this side, I'll do like some little thing that I'm grateful for, or just reflection, and I've kind of not done that for the last 2 weeks. I'm starting it back up today, but this I'm probably not gonna get. I wanted to love it, I wanted to like it, but I'm probably not gonna get it for next year. And then the whole debacle with like the shipping and Hobonichi and just it's not gonna work for me. That just kind of put me over the edge because yeah, I was thinking of getting it next year, even though there were little things that I didn't like. But then I think after hearing about like the shipping issues, obviously of none of our fault, right? But it just put me over the edge to not get it. And I hate that because this is how I came back into the stationery and like planner world, and it seems very popular, but it didn't work for me. I have a Midori diary notebook in the grid space, and this is just like personal diary. I'm not going to open it because it's like has some personal things in here, but I just use it to write day to day whenever I feel like it. It's not like every day, but I grab it at least once a week. And then my book journal. So I am kind of tracking what I'm currently reading, currently listening to in my Hobonichi cousin. And sometimes I'll put in the book covers and my ratings and stuff like that. But this one is solely for my books. And so it looks like this, and I'm just kind of like decorating it. And this became to be too much for me. Like I was gun-ho on having one, but I felt like it was taking up so much time with the decorations, and it's so pretty to look at, but I have pen pals too, and I just need to prioritize some of the things I have. And as you can see, I kind of haven't finished some things. I have read more books than this, but as you notice, the last few aren't really decorated. They're just kind of documented what I liked, what I didn't like. But yeah, I need to take the time to do this. This, once it's done, I'm probably not going to do this again in the future. I just had this book lying around from like 2 years ago when I got it, and so I wanted to use it, so I'm going to use it up, and then I'm probably going to switch the format of this, and I'll show you how. Okay, so I have my iPad here. I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you can see. Hopefully it's not too horrible. We're already 6 minutes into the video, so I'm hoping that I can get through this pretty fast. The first one that I am going to get is the Sterling Ink Daily, and it's dated. And at first I was not thinking of getting the Sterling Ink, but it is a US based company, and I thought, hey, this will save me on shipping. I love the Midori. I want to be able to journal about everything that's going on in my life every single day, and I feel like because it's undated, I don't reach for it as much, and I kind of just like try to remember what I can and document it. And so this I want to use as my daily journal. The monthlies, I haven't decided what to do. I was thinking maybe like documenting the weather, maybe my mood that day, or maybe worldwide events, you know, like that are in the news, things that happen, hurricanes, weather issues. I figure like, because I am going to be journaling in here, this is going to be like not public. It's going to be like all the feelings, good, bad, whatever. And so I figure that my mood obviously affects that, so it would be good to document my mood in here. Weather could affect that. Pretty much just kind of daily events in your life can affect that. So that's what I was thinking here. And then in the daily, obviously it is a 1-page dated daily. I like how minimal it is. It does have a time block, but I'm just going to ignore that, and it's just going to be pure writing. I hope the grid is, I don't know what the grid looks like. I've like kind of looked at the size, and I think it's similar to the Hobonichi. So it is fountain pen friendly, so I'm excited to start journaling this way. And this is going to be very minimalistic. It's not going to have stickers, pictures, anything like that. I'm going to save that for a different planner. I am going to use my dot stickers though. I forgot to mention that. So I do have like, let's see if I can find them. I have some dot stickers on my shop, and each of these signifies something different when I journal in my diary. So that's going to be used, and that I usually do that on the corner of the page. The next planner that I'm going to get is the A5 Take a Note, which obviously no surprise there. This is a Taiwanese company, so I am going to have to deal with the shipping issue. So because of that, I am going to get 2 planners from this company. Originally in a prior video, I had mentioned that I might get 2 of the A5 regular notebooks, but I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm just going to do 1 A5 notebook, regular planner. And so for this, I'm going to use it for tracking like my habits, my cycle over here, which I've been doing in the mini. I'm going to track like maybe my gym time, maybe my reading, you know, some good habits that I have. With this, it does have a line for 2, and I just use my dot markers to track it. But you can also use like the days, the box where the days are listed, the letters, and then the top portion where the numbers are, and you can just put a dot over that too. So really you could track 4 things per month, which I like that. I think this was the Gantt chart, but this is kind of like a yearly overview. And it's kind of like meant to be used as kind of like a project planner. All right, so basically I forgot to mention what this planner would be used for is my personal and paperlycharm planner. So it would have everything as far as my habit tracking. This page I would use for content creation, video posting. I think the bottom section, I would use it for like my stats. So like how many subscribers I have in each channel or each platform, anything like that. Maybe product releases. If not the product releases here, then the product releases would be in the monthly view. So yeah, so in the monthly view, I would do this for product releases and what I need to work on. I think this section here, I would use it for like to-dos that I would have throughout the week. This little weekly layout. And then over here, I was playing around with the idea of just tracking like just something fun like my media consumption. So what I'm watching, listening to, etc. Again, like I said, this would be my personal and paperlycharm planner. So I would want that to be in there as well. So then the take a note does have a weekly layout on 2 different pages. So this is the first page, and then the second page would just have 4 more of these vertical boxes. And so this is going to be, again, like I said, personal, but it is going to be my joy journal. So whereas the sterling ink one will be used as like an every emotion journal, like bad feelings, good feelings, this one is just going to be my joy journal. So things that I'm grateful for, things that made me happy that day, things that I want to memory keep. So this will include stickers, it will include pictures. On this side, the weekly week at a glance view, it's not very big on the weeks, but it might be a little bit bigger on the A5. I'm going to be using this to track the meals I have and my gym stuff. So like my workouts, calories burned, weigh-ins, things like that. That'll be like that health tracker there. And then the next one I'm just gonna get 3. And so I was not planning on getting this. This is the Take a Note B6 medium planner. And at first I wasn't planning on getting this, but then I decided, well, if I'm gonna be ordering from an international company, I might as well get my money's worth out of the shipping. So I'm gonna order this just to say, when I was kind of like looking at it, I was kind of like, oh, this could work for me. This view is the monthly view. All right, so basically this planner is gonna be my everyday carry. It's going to be mainly for my 9-to-5 job. I do have a job. I can't just quit. So, and just run my shop because it's not making very good money right now. So I do have my own 9-to-5 job. And so this planner is going to be for that. But the monthly view is going to be essentially why it's going to be my everyday carry. So I'm going to use this as a way to track my meetings, my appointments, birthdays, any kind of leave, vacation I'm taking, anything and everything that has to do with running my life. So the reason it's all encompassing and has some of my personal items is because I want to be able to easily find something when I'm setting up an appointment and not double book myself. So this is going to help with that. I haven't decided what I'm going to use these side portions for. Maybe like cleaning to-do list or home to-do list. I don't know yet, but I haven't decided. And then they have like a little note section down here that I can just use for random thoughts or maybe decoration. I'm not sure yet. And then they have this view as well, which is in the regular take a note as well. But obviously this is going to be in the B6 size. For this, I'm going to track basically all of my 9-to-5 type of things. So like due dates for document or data reviews, any kind of like meeting invites or reminders that I need to send out, documenting those a month, they would go here. So that's what I would use this for. And then the last page, they have a weekly layout on one page and it's kind of vertical with like some grid space at the bottom. And so basically here what I would do is I wouldn't use this as an hourly, even though they do have like a little hourly thing here. I think here I would just track like what I did day to day. And then this bottom space here, like certain days I might have, I don't know, data reviews for like 10 people or something like that. I would document like that class and those people's names, and then check off I completed this, so I think that's what I would use this for. And then they do have, they didn't have a picture of it online. I don't know how many pages, but at the end of all the weekly sections, it has basically just note pages in grid size. So in grid layout. So this grid will be on several different pages at the end, and that's just to take notes on any kind of project planning, because I think this is more meant for like a project planner. So with that being said, I thought originally that after each of the weeklies there was like a blank grid page, note page, but there's not. They're all at the end. So I still plan on using those, but I plan on using those as like note taking in addition to this space. So like if something happened that day, like if I need to jot down a person's name because I need to look them up later or something like that, that would go in those note pages. So that's what I would use that for. So yeah, those would be my 3 planners for the year of 2026. I have this. This is from, let me move this a little to the side. This is from Redicy. So I think you get like 2 of these. They're A5 size, I think, from Amazon, and they were like 17 or 18 bucks, and you get a 2-pack, and it has grid size paper, and it's very smooth, and it's a little thicker than the Hobonichi paper, so it's fountain pen friendly. And basically, I'm gonna use this as my book journal. Not this one specifically, but obviously I'll get one once the other journal is filled out. But I'm going to make it very minimalistic and just have, my rating, the book, my thoughts. I just felt like the decoration was too much, and I didn't need that in my life right now. So that's what I'm going to do with my book journal in the future once I'm done with everything else. All right, so yep, that's the end of the video. I think I kept it pretty short, hopefully. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you think you are going to get for 2026. I'm patiently waiting on all of the releases. I keep seeing, notifications from a few of the companies, from the 2 companies that I'm looking at, and I've written down everything to like know when to go online to get it. So I'm super excited. I think it's also going to be less expensive because Hobonichi, not gonna lie, it can get pretty expensive. So I'm happy with my decisions. I don't think I'm gonna go back on these. I think hopefully these work for me, and I'm glad that I'm coming out of my comfort zone and trying something new and not kind of sticking to the same thing, or just because it didn't work out, wanting to still like try to make it work. I really want to just find something that works for me and stick with that for the rest of my life. I really think these are gonna work for me. I hope so. Please pray for me. But yeah, I hope you guys liked the video and my thoughts and the reason I'm choosing these planners. Let me know if you've used them before, how they worked for you, or if you are planning on getting the same ones, or which other companies you're trying to get a planner from. But I hope you guys have a good rest of your week and happy planner season. Bye.